DraftSociety.com presents a Premier League Draft Fantasy Podcast. Welcome to the Key Pass Collective, your exclusive source for the information, analysis, and advice you need to dominate your fantasy leagues. Come on in. We've been expecting you.
Draft heads, what's happening? Welcome back in to the Key Pass Collective. My name's Joe Williams. I'll be your host for this particular episode. Welcome in. We're back. It's summer, so we are not quite as uniformly gracing your screens and ear holes as we often do, but we're going to try to amend that, especially now that the draft kit is out, which you'll hear plenty of that today. But what's up, everybody? We are back. We're going to talk some preseason stuff today. We're also going to do a little bit of a look back at last season, just in terms of fantasy kind of takeaways. So we'll talk through some of that as well. But welcome in. Of course, this podcast is brought to you by the Draft Society, thedraftsociety.com. If you are unfamiliar, well, it is time that you learn. The draftsociety.com is basically going to be your one-stop shop for all of your draft fantasy Premier League needs. So check it out. And we just unveiled the draft kit for the 25-26 season. Your one source, the only source that you will need for all of your draft preparation needs. It's honestly, we put in hundreds of hours, several hundred hours into this thing. It's absolutely incredible. And we're really proud of the effort every year. So it's up and running. Obviously, not everything is there because it wouldn't be up to date. And we want to get you the most up-to-date stuff we possibly can. So the team previews and stuff will come later. But there's a lot of launch stuff there, which we'll talk about in just a second. But yes, the draft kit is live. So head over to draftsociety.com, check that out. In the draft kit, you'll have all kinds of things. Again, not quite yet, but unveiling as the summer progresses. So sortable player rankings, all of the Draft Society analysts are going to be ranking our players, by whoever you want to trust most. So if you think you're kind of sick and tired of all the old heads at the Draft Society and you want to jump in with some of the new guys, you want to jump in with Tom, you want to jump in with Dutch Cowboy, well, you can sort by their rankings. If you've got a tried and true person, if you've always rolled with Ryan and you want to sort by his rankings, go for it. You can also, of course, sort by position. You can sort by all kinds of different stuff. So sortable player rankings are on there. Seasons point projections, as the season gets closer, we'll have projected points for every single player. We've got a live draft aid that links to your Fantrax ID, and it will help you quite literally during your draft. It will tell you who's available at your pick, who we might recommend that you take based on our rankings. It'll link to the fixture difficulty tracker and which player has the easiest schedule coming up, all kinds of amazing stuff. Team previews for every single team, obviously, as well as our predicted starting 11s. We will have, all kinds of articles on draft strategy, and then the ones that you've come to know and love, the do not draft list, our sleepers 11, all kinds of things like that, as well as a bunch of mock drafts and those kind of things. So we really think it's kind of the pinnacle of what we do. Honestly, like the draft kit is one of the things that we put the most time, the most effort into all year, to set you up for success, to set you up to dominate your leagues. So check it out. We would be humbled. We'd be honored if you would be willing to part with a couple of shekels and support an independent fantasy website. So check it out. It's live now. DraftSociety.com. And just a quick shout out, of course, if you're willing to get the ultimate pass instead of just purchasing the draft kit. Not only will you get the draft kit, you will also get Inner Circle membership for the entire season. Which will get you all of the in-season benefits. And it also gets you the fantasy toolkit, which is kind of the crown jewel of what we can offer you. It is every single week, week in and week out, linked to your Fantrax ID, gives you bespoke advice on who to pick up, who to drop, what the value of your trades are. The fixture difficulty tracker is built right into there. and a ton of other incredible tools. So if you're willing, the Ultimate Pass will get you that fantasy toolkit. Okay. First things first, I wanted to bring in Toddy. Toddy, let's check and see how your mic's doing.
Hello.
Oh, you're here. It sounds great. Yeah. I wanted to come.
It's actually the mic on the webcam. So.
Oh, you're fine. Yeah, it sounds great. I wanted to come to you first, quick, before we bring in everybody else. Just if you could, because you were the mastermind behind kind of our release schedule. If you could kind of run through when people can expect to see things like rankings, team previews, other various, those articles they've come to know and love.
Yes, I will. So as it has become customary in the last few years, we've come out with a non-final list of articles in the toolkit, and we'll release all the articles while you are planning your draft. So we'll have ranks around the 10th of July for the first time, so middle of next week, and then we'll update those twice up until the final draft weekend. We'll have tiered ranks in the interlooping weeks. So one week we'll have updates on our normal ranks, and the other week we'll have updates on the tiered ranks. We'll have our patented team forecasts dropping from the 20th of July for a week. We'll hopefully be done with all of those, and hopefully teams will consider the fact that we need to plan for the draft and get their business done early. But we'll see. Last year we had updates out for all fantasy forecasts in bulk articles. I think this is what we're going to do this time around as well. So once the forecasts are out, those are final, and we'll release 1, 2, or 3 updates for all the forecasts in one, when and if they are necessary. We'll have the final week of big hitters at the end of July, starting from the 27th. We'll have the under and overvalued. We'll have the staff do not draft list.
Yes.
We'll have the players that we love but can't draft. Those are the so quote unquote big hitters. Those are the ones that get the most eyes usually, and they're the most fun to write as well.
Yeah.
And all the rest of the articles will be dropping throughout the month of July. Obviously, we'll be turning our attention to game week 1 from the 10th of August, and we'll be releasing our usual waivers, sleepers, and all the rest of the articles for the first game week.
Hell yeah. Nicely done. All right. So there it is. That's the draft kit in a nutshell, and we really think it's worth it. So if you'd be willing to support us, community, do your thing. We love y'all. Thanks again for the support over the years. We're back at it again for another season. So yeah, if you've got some spare coins to spare, come on out and show some support. Appreciate it. All right, moving right along. So today we are talking draft kit. We just did that, so that's a check. That's a check mark right there. We're going to talk some takeaways from our fantasy flashbacks. We are going to have a segment called "What the Fuck Is Up," and we'll go through that in a second. And then we have a preseason quiz that I've put together for all of these lovely gentlemen. What lovely gentlemen, you say? Well, let's go ahead and bring in the crew. We have Ryan, we have Tom, we have Dutch Cowboy, and we have Toddy today. So we got a full house. Gentlemen, how the hell are you? Happy summer. Happy July.
Happy July to you. I'm sure you're glad that school is out.
Oh, I could not be happier. I've already somehow, toiled away 2 weeks on draft kit stuff. So That's all right. I'm taking a vacation now, so we're off to Colorado.
Nice.
How's everyone else?
Big holiday week here in the States. So I'm pretty excited for the 4th and the weekend. 4th is a Friday this year, so that's huge.
Yeah, there's gonna be so much blood alcohol poisoning.
Yes. Yes. Jeez.
It's gonna be a problem.
I'm excited. I have to cook a lot this weekend for people, so I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, you're like on a lake or something, or are you on the ocean?
Yes, on a lake.
Wow.
Yes, quite excited.
Incredible.
It's not mine. It's not mine. None of this is me.
You don't own the lake?
No, none of this is mine. I am
Next year.
I'm very lucky. Maybe next year.
That's awesome. Very nice. Tom, how are things with you, man?
Yeah, looking forward to July. June was a bit of a write-off. It's been an absolute heat wave over here in England, and been moving jobs and moving house over June. So it's been a bit hectic. Looking forward to getting my teeth back into fantasy, really.
Yeah, same. Absolutely. And Ryan?
Just trying to figure out what day it is, to be honest.
Right. Are you sleeping at all?
No. No, not at all.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Yeah, just maintaining. But it's been good. This little guy is giving us moments of joy amidst the lack of sleep. So, and I'm thankful to have the time off and the time to spend with him. So, we'll look back on this time with joy, fondly. But yeah, I'd be lying if I said I didn't need like 6 days of sleep.
Yeah. I honestly can't imagine. Like, I'm sure Toddy can remember those days quite well. But
I can, and I'm glad they're not here. But I was just typing in our behind the scenes chat that I will need to pop out for 5 minutes because my girls were supposed to be in a sleepover camp, but the camp counselor called that that they are kicking up a fuss, and my wife went to get them, so I need to go down to the car and bring them up.
Man.
Like 5
Wait, your daughters are misbehaving enough to get sent back from sleepaway?
Yes. Yeah.
That's gangster. I love that.
So cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Does that make sense? Does that check out to you, or is it surprising?
No. It fully checks out. Yeah.
So the counselor, that's why they're at camp.
Yeah.
Right.
This is your problem, bud.
I mean,
did you get it?
I am kind of liking the fact that I had 2 beers as opposed to my wife only having 1 wine at dinner.
Yep.
At dinner, so that she is the one who has to drive to the camp and get the kids now, because
So
she's
your
less drunk than I am.
alcoholism, yeah. Helped out.
We call that planning ahead. That's
That is.
Yeah.
Always be drunk.
ABD, baby.
ABD. All right, man. Well, we'll see you when you get back.
Yeah.
Yeah, cheers.
5 minutes.
All right, boys. Well, let's jump into it. So we literally all together wrote a giant article that's called the Fantasy Flashback. And in doing that, we had to look back at the fantasy performances of all 17 teams that are still in the league. And so one thing I wanted to just start with, and it's ironic because Toddy was the one who wanted to do this, so hopefully he can join in when he's back. But fantasy flashback takeaways. So did anything pop out at you? Did anything jump out to you as you sifted through last year's top fantasy performers? Was there anything that was shocking, interesting, or even just worth mentioning? And you may want to mention like which teams you actually ended up writing about.
Yeah,
Whoever wants to, it's casual, jump in.
So I did Spurs and Forest for the record. I was really quite surprised at how many defenders there were in the top 20, top 50 fantasy points scored last year.
Yeah.
I don't know if was there a reduction in the number of goals scored last year, or if it was just the scoring changes with the no -2 on the first goal against, which was obviously quite a massive change.
Yeah.
But like the number of teams where I was looking through, because I was like comparing it to other ones, because I was like a bit confused by it, but the defenders overall were much higher on the ranks than I was expecting them to be.
Yeah, I think you're probably right about that. I'm trying to look and see what that number was. Let's see. I don't know about top 50, but we had at least 3 in the top 20. Which is, that's pretty, it's pretty solid. And then once you go out to top 50, you're looking at, a whole bunch more. That's when you get guys sprinkled in like, Van Dijk, Collins.
That's when you get like the Milinkovic and Murillos from Forest.
Yeah, Gvardiol. Even like Lewis Hall is in there. Wan-Bissaka. Yeah, I think it was a good year for defenders. I do think it was mostly the change to the scoring.
About it, I don't think that's transition. So we did that mock draft last week, and if you just think about the numbers, how many defenders went in the top 50 during that draft?
Almost none.
3 or 4, right?
Yeah.
And then there were quite a few went in the sort of 60s to 80s. But overall, it looks like defenders could well be quite undervalued this year going into it, at least, as of the 2nd of July.
Right. Right. Not that any of that will change at all. It's basically set in stone at this point. So, no, but I love that. Yeah, that's a great takeaway. That's solid. Anyone else?
Yeah, I did Brighton, Arsenal, Chelsea, and Wolves. The Brighton, I knew that all of the points were kind of cannibalized due to the crazy rotation, but I didn't think it was that bad until I actually looked into the numbers, where it's just like Matoma was the only one that had any decent amount of starts. And it was just infuriating just looking through the numbers. And thankfully I kind of stayed mostly away from them outside of like getting Minty in I think a couple of leagues. But it was crazier than even I had anticipated going into it. And I assume it's going to continue like that. Although the more I thought about it, I think it might get a little bit better just because Hertzler has a year under his belt, probably knows a bit more about his best 11. Pedro and I think a few others will be departing. The new arrivals also have a bit more time in the Premier League under their belts, the O'Reillys and Grudas and Beefers. So I think it might get a little bit better, but it's still going to be a thing. I think you just have to kind of look to see who are the ones that, despite the rotation, still got a decent amount of minutes. And I think Minty stands out as one that kind of nailed down a role by the end of the season. I like Vifer a lot as well, although it's TBD whether or not he sticks in the right back position. But
yeah,
just something that kind of popped out and was reinforced going through Brighton. Wolves, no surprise that, the gaping hole left by Cunha and Ait Nori is going to be just a chasm to fill this summer. And so there'll be some folks that step up. I think they have to do a lot of business, which is, very much unlike Wolves usually in the summer. They're pretty stagnant, but they're going to have to start filling those voids. And he might be able to get some of those dudes for value just because they'll be a little bit under the radar because of Wolves. And also Bellegarde might step up and do something. He had a couple little purple patches during the season. So I'm a little bit intrigued by them, but I always am. So I'll be curious to see what you guys think, if anybody kind of gets your pulse racing a little bit once they've done their business. Arsenal, the injuries obviously stacked up, and it was tough to see. I mean, just going through the list, I mean, every one of their top players, missed at least 10 to 15 games at the least. So it's just like, I don't think they get enough credit for finishing second despite all of that.
Well, I was shocked to see, because one of the things that readers will see when they read this article is, we start with three stats that I think are really telling. The first one is top 20 fantasy performers. The second one is top 50 fantasy performers. And the third one is number of players with 2,500 minutes. Arsenal had 0 top 20 and only 2 top 50, which I think like you mentioned in the article, speaks to those injuries. That's crazy. That's unheard of.
It is nuts. Yeah. No top 24.
Yeah, I'd have to go through the numbers of the previous season, but they would at least have had 3 or 4. You would think so. Yeah, to have 0 is crazy, and it's not a decline in production, because if you look at the PPS of Saka and at least Havertz, they would have been on pace, obviously, for that. And I think Odegaard, despite having a down season, probably would have too if he hadn't missed so much time. So yeah, I'm just kind of betting on a bounce back season, and I think because of all that, their assets will be a little bit depressed, and I think there'll be better value coming into this season because of it. And yeah, Chelsea was super top heavy. Just Enzo and Palmer really having any kind of value for money. Everybody else was somewhat of a disappointment, although, as we've kind of talked about offline, Neto's really came through in the end there. But yeah, all the points were pretty widely dispersed outside of those two, and I assume that's going to continue since they've signed 600 players since May. So yeah, those are my big takeaways from the teams that I looked at.
Nice. I'm right with you on the minutes, the rotation with Brighton, because I reviewed Man City, of course, and I think Man City and Brighton were the 2 teams who had the fewest number of players who had 2,500 minutes or more. They both had 3, just 3.
Spurs only had 1.
Spurs only had 1?
Oh,
missed that.
Oh, who was it? Wait.
You clearly read none of what I wrote about Spurs then, mate.
Porro. It was just Porro.
It was Porro, and he played the most games for them and only started 28.
That's nuts.
Wow. They only had 3 players start 25 games last year.
Holy hell. That's crazy.
And you wondered why I wanted to say not applicable for draft day value.
Yeah, I remember you had it that way.
Okay, for listeners, Tom, in the draft of the article, under the section where it says draft day values, he wanted to just say NA, which I think is absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, I'll tell y'all one takeaway from just going through that article. And I think this is more for anybody listening now or in the future, like in a month. And anyone coming from like the official FPL app is, what was it? Brentford had 5 top 25 players, right?
Was it?
I think it was crazy. 5. I think it was Mbomo, Collins, Wisa, Damsgaard, Flecken. And
top 20. It was only 4 top 20.
4 top 20. I think Damsgaard was number 25. Yep.
I
don't know. I think it just kind of speaks to this format and how you can find tons of value in not the big clubs. I think absolutely. Anyone coming from like some of those like official apps it's nice to see.
Yeah, definitely.
Arsenal had no top 20. Brentford had 4.
That's crazy.
What? I guess it's insanity. I think Villa had no top 30. No, they might have been like. I think Villa. I think Watkins was like 30.
Was it Teals?
That was their best. Yeah, they were. I think they have a single top 30 player, which is also kind of like insane.
Tillemans must have been close, right?
I think they were quite literally 32, 33, 34 because I wrote that. I'm pretty sure that's correct, and I don't have that wrong.
No, you put it in the article. Number of top 50 fantasy performers: 3. Tielemans, Watkins, Rogers were, funnily enough, 28, 29, 30.
There you go. Bingo.
Yeah. That's crazy. And 0 top 20.
Cool how you can, anyone coming in new, you can find value in some of these mid-table clubs.
I think that's important to know for sure, right? I mean, and there's not as much groupthink in this format for sure.
I just looked at the previous season numbers, and Arsenal had 4 top 20 assets.
Yeah,
the previous season.
Yeah,
and now 0.
Yeah,
plainest day.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I do think, like you said, they will get underdrafted.
Yeah, look at least they'll at least get 4 again.
Yeah.
They should.
Kind of
I mean,
the fact that City only have 2 top 50 fantasy performers last year.
Yeah,
is
imagine like that's just
absolutely.
well, isn't it? It's funny. It's funny that they have 2 top 20 fantasy performers and then only just those same 2 top 50 fantasy performers. Like that's just
the context.
makes no
This
sense.
is Haaland and Gvardiol.
Yeah.
From City.
I mean, it's very, very interesting that, and just the fact that I didn't know, I did not clock that Spurs was that bad, but yeah, City, the rotation was terrible, and generally just an incredibly down year. I don't know if they bounce back or not. They looked okay at the Club World Cup, but I'm not going to put any stock into that.
You should look at Doku's dribble numbers at the Club World Cup. He's going crazy.
Oh, it was good?
Yeah, he was just dribbling like crazy.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what he did in the league, too. He had something like
Yeah.
112 or something crazy.
Still at it.
Yep, just doing it.
Savio looked pretty good. If we're looking at value.
Yeah,
Savio
we'll
looked pretty
talk about them in a second.
good. Fantastic.
Any other takeaways from the flashbacks? Toddy, welcome back.
Hello.
What's up with the what is it? Emmanuel Petit kit? What's going on there?
It's
awesome.
a Zidane one.
Zidane. Very nice.
I finally won my home league this year, and the winner gets a shirt of their choosing.
Oh,
So this was the one
It's a great
original France '98 Zidane kit.
I love that as a trophy. That's great.
It's a great idea. You know
What else was in the running?
For me,
Yeah.
Like a Pushkash or something.
nah. The other ones were just like players that helped me win. So like I was considering Dean Huyson, Bournemouth one.
Thank God.
On
not
sale
a
right
fail.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good idea. I tried getting going in my league. I still think this is a good idea. Is instead of a trophy, when you win, you pick someone from your team that you enjoyed, like on your team,
Okay.
and you get that jersey, and that'd be your trophy. You know, you use part of your winnings to get that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So like last year, for example,
that's
I
kind
don't
of
know,
the way we do it. Yeah.
yeah. I think that's a sick idea.
I like that.
That's better than a trophy, you know. And then whenever you wear it out, if you guys play footy together, it's like,
Yeah.
look at my like Danny Munoz jersey, and people will like always know that was the year you had Danny Munoz and you won. You know what I mean? It's a cool thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we had, and that's what I was gonna go for. That's what usually people go for, like
Cool.
the one fantasy player that won them the league. I was just looking for this shirt for so long, and I had one a friend of mine who has been collecting shirts, and he notified me just as I was deciding on which player to get, that this was, he found one of these on some far remote eBay sellers list, and if he should bid for it, and I said
Yes.
obviously bid for it, and then I just said let's just get that as the prize, because I couldn't honestly I couldn't choose, because I had Salah and Trent as the headliners, who obviously I have like 4 or 5 Liverpool shirts. I'm not gonna get a Salah one. Huyson I would have definitely gotten if he didn't leave. But now it's just like one season wonder.
Yep.
I know
Hold by
Ryan
it.
will I know Ryan will love this, but the one player that got me close and
Harvey
got
Barnes.
me at the end of the season was Harvey Barnes, and
Son of a-
I was considering him as well, but alas, it was similarly talented Zinedine Zidane who won out at the end.
Yeah.
I'm kind of impressed you don't already have a Harvey Barnes jersey.
I was gonna get one of Leicester, but then he left.
I think
the
you have to
season.
play a few games each season to like qualify to have your shirt printed.
Like they don't even make them.
Yeah. Like who?
Yeah,
Oh, that guy that I see in the
You'll have to
medical
pay
office all
extra
the
to
time.
get that printed on there, sir. Sorry.
Tali, I thought of you. I was randomly watching the Arsenal All or Nothing a few years ago. That came out a few years ago. I was watching it like yesterday.
Yeah.
And the Brighton game, and Mwepu scored the winner against him, and I was like, "Goddamn computer!"
Yep.
I thought about your random obsession with that guy.
He would have been the shit had he not
He had like a coronary or something, right?
Yeah, it's a heart issue, I think.
Yeah. Crazy. He was good. Yeah, that goal was nasty.
Yeah.
You should have got his jersey.
Moving on, gents. Toddy, did you have any takeaways from the flashbacks? The rest of us have kind of shared, for the most part, what we found interesting.
Did you share that Brighton had the most valuable fantasy players? Oh, not Brighton, Brentford.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like, wait a second, what?
No, sorry.
Like I wrote that. Absolutely not.
Yeah,
I just got done saying the exact opposite.
Yeah. Brentford.
Yeah, Dutch Cowboy got through saying that that's kind of one of the cool things about this format. For anybody kind of coming over to this format, how it's really interesting, to see that type of thing with Brentford, where it's encouraging to know that you don't have to just have the marquee guys that would that people flock to in the official game.
Yeah, exactly. And I was looking through. I think I was the last person in the doc with the Brentford flashback. I was looking through all the other ones that you guys wrote. I was like, this cannot be true that Brentford had the most top 20 and the most top 50 players as well.
It's crazy, yeah.
But it is true, and it's strange as hell.
Well, I mean, do we extrapolate that to Spurs or not?
Absolutely not. Why would we?
All right, so it's not a managerial thing; it's the players.
I mean, it's a bit of both, but I wouldn't expect the same from Spurs.
I mean, yeah, Mateus Tell is no Johan Wissa, that's for sure.
Yes.
Vicario is no Flecken. No one is. May he rest in peace.
Yeah, I was thinking about Vicario, given is it like a Frank thing that like lets you get off a bunch of shots? So like if I miss out on top tier goalkeepers and I need to take a upside punt, I was thinking about Vicario, given that.
No, I actually agree. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure that the systems will be that similar, but the fact that Romero is leaving and I haven't heard any notable CB signings mooted for Spurs, I would expect a fair few amount of shots. So I think the fact that Flecken is a bit better at actually stopping them than Vicario will still mean that I don't think that he's going to be there for numbers wise, but I think he will face enough shots to be a viable draft pick on a goalkeeper, which is not very in line with what we usually say.
Yeah, fair. I don't know if you guys heard that insane thunder that just happened outside my house, but just in case I lose power or anything, you're going to have to go on without me.
Should we take a 30-minute rain delay now?
No, we should not.
Extreme weather delay.
We should take a 4-hour extreme
weather delay. Get Joe some orange slices.
This is another example of that. We've got a late afternoon thunderstorm here in the eastern United States.
Yep.
The World Cup's going to be so much fun.
We should not have summer tournaments. Anyway, all right, nice. You guys ready to move on to some what the fucks?
Yes.
All right, sweet.
Oh, yeah.
So we're calling this what the fuck is up with blank. So we're going to discuss a few different teams, and we're going to try not to only focus on transfers. I know that can get kind of a bit droll, but at the same time, it's going to play into what we're talking about. So basically, what's the current vibe around certain teams, what's going on with them, and how does that translate into fantasy? So we'll talk about a few different teams here, and then we'll move into the quiz, which I'm excited about. All right, so first of all, obviously, what the fuck is up with Chelsea? It's barely July. We have seen Delap, Pedro, Gittins, and Estevao through the door. Meanwhile, they have sold, checks notes, none of their current attackers. Yes, I guess Jadon Sancho went back to where he came from.
They did have to pay a transfer fee to do that.
Yeah, they did. Which is hilarious.
They bought the right not to have.
I've never seen that before.
Honestly, it's the best money they've ever spent.
Yeah, no, it's good business.
But so I was on with Keith and Enzo earlier this week, and on Draft Offsides, and we were talking about this, and so I'm curious to hear y'all's takes on Chelsea and the headache that they might be this season, or if there are any assets that you're kind of still hopeful for. I'm getting pretty pessimistic at this point.
My issue is, are there, aside from Gittins, all of these players play through the middle, right?
Well, they can. I mean, Pedro can play as a winger, right? He's able to.
Yeah, he's able to, and Estevao as well, and Palmer is able to play on the right, and Neto has been playing off either side of the forwards for some of his minutes. But like, how can they have so many attackers and yet still need wingers?
Yeah, I know. It's amazing. And from everything I hear, they're still shopping.
Yeah.
I mean, literally just need a goalkeeper and a center back, and they've bought everything else.
Yeah, and they'll probably send Madueke to Arsenal, right? There was.
God, I hope not. I really hope not. It'll be a backup for Saka, but I'd rather just keep that for Nwaneri or someone else. Like, no interest in him.
Yeah, I can't. I need preseason from them. Like, if any team, I need a preseason. Watching them is Chelsea, because I don't know what the deal is. I don't want to draft anybody there, not named Palmer. Not that I'm going to anymore, but based on the pick I have. But
I don't think like in dialed in leagues, other than Palmer, I don't think there's going to be a Chelsea player going in the top 2 rounds.
Yeah, it's too risky.
It's just too risky.
Enzo?
Yeah. Well, if Lavia and Caicedo start at the heart of midfield and Palmer starts as 10, then there is no spot for Enzo.
Unless he drops back, which and devalues him.
I mean, if he drops back, that devalues him for fantasy and would mean that Lavia doesn't start.
Yeah, what a mess. I wonder how much of this is Maresca and how much of it is like just the ownership going nuts. It's just very odd.
I think the ownership, obviously, given their kind of blueprint so far, is clearly just buying people under 23, 24 for business reasons on these long-term contracts for amortization. And it's like the scouts find them, they sign him, and then they probably ask Maresca, do you want this guy in the squad? Can you fit him in? And if not, just loan him to Vitesse. And at some point, we'll sell him for a profit. That seems to be what they're up to.
Should this be allowed? Should we allow this, or is it whatever? Like,
I mean, as long as you're conducting good business, like selling your own women's team to yourself, I think they should be allowed to.
I mean, it's all loopholes. Like, no, it shouldn't be allowed. Obviously, it's every single thing is a loophole.
It just looks like a Swiss cheese. Like, it's all holes.
Right.
It's not even just.
Surely we're expecting to see.
Go ahead, Tom.
Sorry, I was just to say, like, surely we're expecting to see more sales out of Chelsea than just Madueke, just for like profit and sustainability rules issues, unless they're going to sell their youth team to
themselves. I mean, okay, so if they're going to sell more,
I haven't heard of any rumors of
I was going to say
other than Madueke.
Yeah, who is that? What does that look like? I mean, I've not heard of them even like putting anyone else in the shop window.
Maybe Arsenal wants Sterling back.
Well, yes, Sterling is still there as well.
Sterling.
Joe Felix.
Joe Felix?
Joe Felix.
No, I thought he went back.
He
where?
is back. He's
The
the
bottom.
back. Chelsea is the back that he has to go to.
Yeah, the Twitter post was welcome home, and he's home.
Oh my God! I didn't
And
realize.
then
I don't know what I
as
thought
well.
was his loan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They-
Nkunku.
I have the tweet where it's the depth chart, and it's like you think they're taking the piss, but no, that's the legit depth chart. It's insane to look at, like in its totality.
Did they
Oh.
actually sell Lukaku last season, or is he coming back to?
I think he's on the women's team books.
Amazing. Yeah, damn. What was that guy that they had forever? Why am I forgetting his name? The guy they had forever that they loaned out like 37 times.
Kennedy?
Yes, Kennedy. Is he still there?
Couple.
He was in China and had a racist tweet that got him in trouble, and I never heard from him again.
Maybe
What
in the
about
Chinese
Lucas?
prison.
Lucas Piazon, remember him? He got loaned out a bunch of times.
Oh yes.
There's a lot of them.
Oh God.
I always
Yeah,
get so
Kakara.
sad by that. I don't know. It's just tough.
Yeah,
It's-
but you got to price that in when you're signing with them.
No,
It's
no,
like-
for sure.
Of course.
But yeah, just they don't know any better, so I feel bad for the player. But it's like, man, their representation needs to just like do better.
Just devaluing players, just devaluing João Pedro, and just devalues everyone else. Just, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that we released yesterday when the draft kit came out was the first version of our tiers, and because we don't have our consensus ranks yet, we do have our tiered ranking cheat sheet, which is sorted by position. So the forward ranks, because it came out yesterday, and there was some time before we dropped it. I was able to drop him a tier in the rankings, a full tier, which was unfortunate because, as you all saw in the mock draft we did, forward is a little bit thin at the moment. And so seeing him go there kind of broke my heart.
They also have Mark Guyu and Armando Broja also is back from Everton.
I mean, that's a perfect example. Mark Guyu or however the hell, like that's a kid who would have had an absolutely shining career anywhere else. Like he already probably would have broken into the starting 11. He's an incredible young talent. From what everybody says, he's this absolute wonder kid, and we haven't heard a peep from him.
Yep.
All right, are we done talking about this? It depresses me. All right, Ryan, cheer us up. What the fuck is up with Arsenal? So we have a saga going on. Will he, won't he, versus Gyökeres and Sesko, which I find very interesting because it's kind of like they're choosing between one of those two. And I think whichever one they choose changes the draft value of some of the other players, namely Kai Havertz on that team, which we can talk about. But then also they're linked with basically every single left winger under the sun, which I feel like says a lot about who they currently have there. So
Watch it.
What's your take on any of this?
Yeah, I don't think Gyökeres is really an option. I think it's a smokescreen really to try and get Sesko, which
Really?
I thought was going to be fairly straightforward, but apparently Leipzig are being pretty adamant about having everything up front, which can be an issue, and the price is a bit more inflated than they expected. Might be one where they're just being inflexible initially, and then it'll just kind of go to the line, and then they'll finally realize they need to get rid of him, and he only wants to go to Arsenal, and yada yada. It happens at the end. So I see that happening more than Gyökeres. There's also talk of like, if all else fails and neither end up being decent value, and we went for him apparently half-heartedly in January, but Ollie Watkins as kind of a fallback, which he's older. He's like 31. This will be his kind of last contract. Boyhood Arsenal fan, as far as I can tell. Good finisher. I think he would have actually been smart business in January. But obviously I'd rather have Šeško for the future. And it also depends, like if the choice was like Rodrigo and Watkins versus like Šeško and Madueke, for
Yeah.
example, I'd much rather do the former. But
Sure.
yeah, the Rodrigo, Eze, and Šeško would really be the dream.
Do they have the money for that?
They should. I mean, they've had Champions League football for the last several years.
You know
they
what?
Should be able to do it.
I was listening to a podcast today that was talking about this whole Rodrigo thing, and you know what I absolutely can't stand about Real Madrid is the fact that once a player goes there, there's this idea that they're even if they're not starting and like they've been benched, they can't get a minute with the team. There's this like air that like they're suddenly this, untouchable asset. Like unless you pay some ridiculous asking price, it's like just because they're on the team. Like this guy didn't fucking play a minute in the Club World Cup.
Yeah.
And you're going to try to tell me that he's worth 80? Like I hate that.
Yeah. It's really remarkable how cheap we got Odegaard from them. But that took years of him being in the wilderness and loaned out, and so they were able to part with him for that. But yeah, Rodrigo's a bit still fresh.
I think Rodrigo is behind Martinelli in the Brazil Bets charts.
I think he's a bit overrated myself. I think he's good and could.
That's interesting.
Would be great. Between the two, I'd much rather have Eze, to be fair.
Do you think there's a chance? There's a chance if they can either get Eze or Rodrigo deals across, then they will go into the season not signing a centre forward and continue to try to shoehorn Trossard and Martinelli in behind Havertz.
Given it's happened in the last several windows, yeah.
That's what my feeling is, because they've gone for Zubimendi early. They're clearly trying to get someone in at left wing, and it looks like both of the big name guys that we talked about, Gyökeres and Šeško, are at some sort of a stall. So
I think it's more likely they'd end up settling for Watkins as a stopgap in that scenario rather than not getting anyone.
Unless Watkins has already gone to United.
Yeah, I doubt. I bet they're telling him to hold out, with the remote possibility that go for him at the end. Yeah, and there's a chance if we get, say, Eze and Rodrigo, there's a chance that like someone like Martinelli would be sold. So yeah, that goes from great competition and depth to like a little bit of overkill.
Yeah. Ryan, check me on this, because here's what I said on Draft Offsides when we talked about this, was that it's my assumption that if it's Gyökeres for any reason, being 27 and fresh off of scoring 1 million goals, that he is more or less nailed for that role. That's kind of like the win now option, where Šeško, if that's the one, then I foresee kind of more of a rotation with Havertz.
I think that's right, and it makes a lot of sense. But I have this nagging feeling, and kind of I've been conditioned to think that like Havertz is undroppable in the eyes of Arteta.
Yeah, he loves him.
But like, yeah, it'd be weird if you spent big money on Gyökeres and just had him as second fiddle to Kai Havertz. The other possibility would be like a formation tweak, but I haven't seen anything like that really outside of the back three in 2020. So yeah, I would think that's right, but yeah, I have this nagging feeling that Kai is going to be starting at least game week 1.
Nice.
I agree. I think Kai goes in to the season as first choice center forward, regardless of who they sign, and maybe I was a bit pessimistic when I said that both of these guys, Gyökeres and Šeško, seem to me more of a Nunez type punt who might work out, might be a bust. But I think the fact that they are seeing what Nunez signing for Liverpool has achieved as a number one centre forward when he came in. I think that makes. I think if they're smart about it and they bring in either one, I think it's at most a timeshare with Havertz, because Havertz is not going back to playing the number 8 to see. So I think he needs to be at forward if Arteta wants to play him, which he does.
He got all jacked up during his injury layoff too, so he's rearing to go,
ready to tussle.
Yeah,
See, he's a hoss now.
Yeah, no, he's gonna bully some people.
Love that. All right. Anything else on Arsenal, guys?
The preview will probably be the first one we drop since it's the closest, I think. So keep an eye out for that. Yeah,
and you've already been toiling away,
working
on that thing. So love that. Aside from that, Luis. Anyway, Luis in chat is talking shit. All right. If we're done with Arsenal, I'm going to move ahead and let Tom talk some shit about Newcastle. So what's going on with Newcastle? Why are they finding it so hard to recruit players despite their best efforts?
Well, that's a really easy question. It's because most footballers have a very good moral compass, and they would hate those journalist murdering bastards.
Jeez.
Love this. Do these clear intentions from the club affect your ranking of any of their fantasy assets? And also, what does it communicate to a player like Isak, who they really want to stay, but he's looking around thinking, well, you can't even get anyone to commit to the club? Because all these players that have been already signed or rumored, to other clubs strongly have also been rumored to Newcastle, but they've just turned them down, like straight up just turned them down.
I think it has to do with losing Mitchell, their sporting director, at the end of the season. Supposedly they have put together a plan with Eddie Howe, but he's gone, and I'm sure that there's someone in the office like turning on the computer and clicking on updates, Windows updates, so that it doesn't get bogged down or something like that. But there's no
richest club in the world. They're definitely doing that.
Yeah.
There's no captain at the helm. There's no like big name sporting director to run the things. And we saw at an arguably even bigger club, Liverpool, how having Schmatke as an interim sporting director only was good enough to get 2 or 3 signings in, and not to focus on the signatures of Salah, Trent, and Van Dijk until very, very late. So I think we tend to think that these background things just organize themselves, and they don't. And the fact that there's no boss around to get them up to speed and take hold of these negotiations is actually losing them players. I think that's the less so the moral compass, Tom.
I love Tom's point, though. That's great.
It is a great point, but it kind of is defeated with City being able to just get everyone. Obviously, they're a bit less.
Abramovich, anyone?
Abramovich as well.
I think on a more real point, there's a lot of turnover expected at Newcastle this year. I know that Isak, for instance, has been rumoured away quite a lot. And if they do lose some of their major assets, then Newcastle do become a less attractive option to go to.
Yeah.
And the
less attractive than Chelsea or United, who have been signing players.
Chelsea and United are fundamentally bigger clubs than the Mags, though. Like they have a lot more prestige in the world game. And looking on your career, say like I played for Chelsea, I played for Manchester United, I played for Newcastle. It's an issue to a lesser extent that I've seen with the other Northeast clubs, obviously Sunderland, is as well. A lot of players don't want to move to the Northeast.
Yeah, it's so strange, but it's I'm sure that it's an issue. Like
It's the London clubs have a massive advantage in pulling the world-class talent.
Yeah.
And to a lesser extent, Manchester, there's a lot of like nice areas out around Cheshire area, which is where all the United players used to live. But
so the Liverpool players live as well.
when we were in like League One, we'd lose out on signings to Charlton because that's just domestic transfers, because domestic players want to live in London rather than moving up to Tyne and Wear. And you only have to look at, so for instance, the whole Di Maria saga, where he wanted to leave United because his missus wasn't happy about living in Manchester and wanted to move to, but if they were living in London, then they'd have been happy with it. And that's it's annoying as a supporter of a club which isn't in London or isn't in like one of the major cities of the UK, but players would rather move to Chelsea, they'd rather move to Arsenal, they'd rather move to Spurs than they would move up north, just because they want to live in London.
I totally get it, and I think it's in line with us or anyone else talking and thinking about football, not thinking about how the actual system works without a boss. And it's also the similar situation. Like we never think about these clubs are all like badges and names and huge stadiums, but at the end of the day, what Tom says is such a good point that these players have families, these players have lives, and they live their lives just like we do, with much more money, and they want to spend it in nice places, and they want to live in nice places, and they like even Trent. And I've been to Liverpool several times, and it's not the worst UK city. But like, if I had an option to live in Madrid or live in Liverpool,
sure,
without the clubs or without the footballing side of things,
I mean,
right.
Think about Messi. Do you think he moved to Miami because he really believes in David Beckham's project there? He moved into Miami because he wanted to live in Miami for a couple of years.
Why is Ryan moving to Miami? That's the big question.
Well, Dutch Cowboy already lives there
because of Beckham's project.
Yeah,
It's quite obvious. That's why I was born.
Seduced.
That's the reason I was born there. Beckham's project.
Yeah. Foresight.
It's like a Minority Report kind of thing. It's like before it actually happened, it just, you knew it was going to happen.
100%.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's interesting. In terms of draft assets, does it change anything? I mean,
Newcastle have to sign. They do not have a squad right now to compete in Europe. And
no,
they have like a very poor squad if you look at it.
But they haven't lost anyone. Like, this is still a team that, despite struggling for large portions of the season, qualified for Europe. I mean, like, I think they're going to be fine.
People still remember 2 seasons ago when they had this very similar squad and qualified for the Champions League, and then finished 7th, 8th. I can't remember, but were nowhere close to European places with their Champions League season over in the group stages, because they were with, was it PSG, Dortmund?
They had a tough one.
Yeah,
they had
a tough one.
Yeah. So yeah, I think, and now it's new format Champions League. So they would have to play 2 more games in the.
It's still early It's still early in the window. Like I think
I keep forgetting it's July.
I think they'll be fine. The
I mean, if they
draft
lose,
fantasy aspect is Murphy. Like if they get their wish of getting an upgrade in that position, he's obviously going to plummet, and if they don't, then he regains some value. So that's kind of, I really think the only thing that we're probably looking at outside of like Hall regaining fitness and if they keep Livramento and like what happens with the defense. But
I mean, if I'm surprised no one's come in for Tonali or Bruno.
They could use another midfielder, and we talked about it last pod, but I'm still shocked that they're not linked with Mbemo because I thought it was the perfect fit in May.
They were.
and then it just gets shot down.
He chose.
He already is living in London, so the furthest he's willing to go is Manchester.
Yeah, he's one of the aforementioned. Like he chose not to go there. Joao Pedro chose not to go there. All these people had been in contact with the club. Cunha chose not to go there. I mean, there have already been several others too, where it's just like these players
have to go up there and see what's wrong.
They're not interested.
Sorry, Tom.
It's good. It's decent.
It's a fun time.
Yeah, it can't be that bad.
I'd like
great. It's a great footballing town. I mean, like I think if the players visit and see the passion and like the stadium's right in the middle of the city center, like it's great. It's a great place. I actually think Alonga, and I think Forrest refused a bit, but I think he'd be a great fit too. He's got the
I like that
for their system. I think Eddie Howe would be a great manager for him. So they might have to like slightly downgrade to like that tier of player, but I think they're going to be fine.
They desperately need a right winger, but I mean, if they can keep everyone else, I think they've still got a good squad. I do like the squad. They've got some destroyers in midfield that just, I mean,
yeah, it's nice when you don't get yellow cards. It's really nice.
You hate to play against them, but if they were on your team,
they have 3 destroyers. I feel like they could use a little more creative player in the midfield.
Sure, yeah.
They just have 3 brutes in the midfield, which is great, but
they do have some brutes.
Willett.
Tonali had a good season after his season.
He's good. He's good. He didn't score well, but yeah.
They bet on himself at the end there.
Hey. All right, boys. You ready for the quiz?
Oof, yes.
Oh, God.
All right, here's how we're going to do this. So each question is a list of players. So it'll tell you how many. So some of them are going to be 10, some are going to be 5. Basically, we'll go one at a time, and you get to guess until you miss 2, and then you're out for that question. And I will keep score and let you know who wins.
Okay.
All right. So just based on the order who's on my screen, we're going to go Tom, Ryan, Toddy, and then Dutch. And then obviously for each question, we will mix up who goes first. All right. Ready to roll? First one. Forward frauds. Can you name? This has been a topic of conversation over the off season. Ever since the season wrapped, it's all people could talk about on X, Twitter. Is overperforming overperforming forwards. Oh, you can't trust them because they overperform their XG. Well, can you guys name the top 5 overperforming XG forwards for 24-25? Top 5.
Is it Tom?
Sorry. Yes, Tom is starting this one.
I want to say Mbeumo.
Mbeumo is number 2. Nice job. On to you, Ryan.
Mateus Cunha.
Mateus Cunha is number 1. Fantastic. All right. Toddy.
I'll go Mo Salah.
Unfortunately, no. I'm so sorry. That's 1 strike for you. Dutch.
Oh, man. Who was said already? I'm sorry.
Cunha and
Mbeumo.
And those have been the main 2 that people are, scared off of now, apparently, in the OFPL game.
I don't think it's Bowen wasn't a forward, so it's not him. Yeah.
Oh, I should pull up the sounds. Gonna need an answer here.
Dust that off.
I don't have a good one. I'm putting Isaac. I don't have a good one.
That is not, unfortunately, one of the remaining 3. All right. Back to you, Tom.
Well, I'm just trying to remember who scored quite a few goals.
Oh,
I think he missed quite a few sitters, but I'd imagine Chris Wood is possibly in the top 5.
Chris Wood is number 4. Fantastic job. On to you, Ryan.
Oh God, that was my pick.
We got what, 3 left? No, 2 left. Nope, 3 left.
And these are Fantrax classified forwards, right? Not like prototypical.
Well,
strikers.
I was gonna have a bonus question, but Dutch already ruined that for us. So I was gonna say there
That was
was
great.
there was one player who wasn't a forward but is now.
Super.
So Bowen, yes,
Billy Preseason.
Bowen would have been 4th on this list. Or no, sorry, 5th on this list. But he was a midfielder last year. So there's 2 left.
Ooh, I'm between 2 here. Yon Visa.
No, that is not. That's a great guess, though. That's a really great guess. Toddy, on to you.
I'll go Nico Jackson.
Unfortunately, no, and you are out for this question. Dutch.
Overperforming? What?
I feel like let's see. I feel like he didn't score enough. But is it Danny Welbeck?
No, you're probably right. He didn't score enough, but he tends to be on this list. Yeah, he tends to. All right, so Tom, back to you with no strikes.
I've got a possibility, which I think is really stupid, because he only signed in January.
Okay.
But I believe that Marmouche scored some absolute bangers, which would have been very low XG chances.
Omar Marmouche is number 3. Nice
Damn,
job, Tom.
That's crazy.
Ryan, back to you as the only one left for this question. You have 1 strike.
I'm between 2 again, but I'll go with the one that I didn't say last time that I was between. Antoine Semenyo.
No, I can see it though. I can see it. All
Raul's
right,
my other one.
Who hold on. Tom's got guesses left.
Yeah, let him
Tom,
go again. He's got it.
Tom, you have 1. There's 1 player left. If you can get him, you get the point.
I didn't even get who Ryan said, which is. But did you say John Duran?
Is that your guess?
The thing is, he scored a lot of goals in a short amount of time. Yeah, go on, and Duran.
More guess. You have 1 more guess.
Oh, that was wrong. I have actually got no idea. I'm struggling to name a forward right now.
I just don't.
Diaz pick up quite a few goals actually at one point.
Is anybody guessing in the comments? Diallo is a decent guess, Keith, but it is not. Omar said Wood. Obviously, we've already guessed that.
I'll let Tom go.
Tom's about to run out of time.
Ding dun 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 dun.
I guess Luis Diaz. Sorry.
Okay, there we are. No, the last one was Callum Hudson-Odoi, believe it or not.
Oh, nice.
Wow, never would have got that.
Hudson-Odoi.
Yeah, tough.
So,
was Liam Delap up there?
No.
Really?
Was Larson up there?
Larson is number 6.
Oh.
So here we
Is
go.
Raul top 10?
Cunha 6.4. Overperformed by 6.4, which is massive.
Yeah,
Mbomo
yeah.
6.1. Marmouche 5.7. And as Tom mentions, only since January. That's crazy.
Yes.
Wood 4.2. Hudson-Odoi 2.3. And JSL 2.1. Does that put you off any of those guys for next season?
JSL just signed a contract, didn't he? He's back officially, so good for him.
I mean, he's back, but is he going to continue to beat the odds?
I don't like any of those guys this year, to be honest.
No, me neither.
Parsons tough.
Yeah.
Even
So
Wood probably won't do the same again. Yeah, literally everyone. All of those will likely finish lower.
Yeah.
Sucks.
I would have
Cunha-
been okay with Mboma or Cunha if they stayed at where they were.
Oh, for sure. Maybe Hudson-Odoi, maybe he'll be okay because he wasn't insanely good either. So
I think Cunha's game is to overperform XG because he has a crack from outside and he's really good at scoring those types of goals. So I think it's just priced in that he overperforms XG. And Bomo's got a little bit of that in his game too, but I think, if he wasn't going to United, then Cunha would be still my guy. But
we have to remind people that some players just perpetually overperform XG.
yeah,
Like that's the type of player they are. They're clinical. All right, ready to move on?
Yeah.
We got
Really good
Tom
one.
in the lead with 3, Ryan with 1, Toddy and Dutch, unfortunately, sitting at 0. All right, Ryan, you kick us off for this one. More forward frauds. Some goal-dependent forwards can lose us game weeks when they're in poor form. Of those with at least 10 points per start, which 5 have the lowest floor? So this is according to our useful draft metrics, right? According to our useful draft metrics, the floor is essentially their expected points minus kind of like the standard deviation. Basically, their lowest possible expected score. But it means that it's in their wheelhouse. It's in their locker to score that on their day. So of the forwards with at least 10 points per start, which 5 have the lowest floor?
God, before the 10 PPS, I mean, Højlund would have been an absolute lock.
Right? I mean, yeah, he's got this written all over him.
Oh, man.
And I understand that this is a very hard question.
Yeah.
Help him out. Anybody in the comments?
Give me 2 seconds. I'm just gonna think here. It's the 10 PPS that I'll go Watkins.
Ooh, that's a good guess because he is number 3.
Nice
job.
God, you really had the wind up to me. Like, that's a great guess, but it's not right.
Sorry, I did this earlier today and I didn't remember that he was on the list. So I actually thought
Jeez.
Watkins has a floor of just 2.3 points. Just
I
the
remember those days.
2.3. All right, Toddy.
I'll go Evan Nilsson.
Ooh, I love that guess, but it is not correct, unfortunately.
Did he have the 10 PPS?
That's a good question. That might be what did it for him.
I think that must be because
He might
he's super goal dependent, so that's a good shout. I just don't know if he eclipsed. It's the 10 PPS that makes it hard.
Obviously, don't look this up. Same thing as pub trivia. You can't be on your phones, gentlemen. All right, Dutch.
So if I'm understanding this question right, it's guys who are goal dependent, right? So it's
Basically, right?
but good.
I don't.
But still pretty good.
Yeah, my guess is at least 10 points per start. Holland's pretty goal dependent. Is Holland in top 5?
He is not, unfortunately.
His ghosts are surprisingly decent.
It is weird, right?
He's
It's
got a
like
shot on target.
Like 7.
Yeah, it is kind of weird that way.
Interesting.
Yeah. All right, Tom.
I'm thinking of going back to the rather large New Zealander.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. No, yeah, definitely. Points per start. Yeah, I'll go with Wood.
Wood is number 5. Nice job.
That's twice you've snaked Wood. Pick number.
That's my it was between him
Surprise.
and Holland.
Considering the way he
Christ.
ended the season, anybody who rostered Wood should have immediately said his name.
Yeah, no,
Because-
that's why I had him. But he was
Holy
my
shit.
second choice. Fucking hell.
All right, Ryan.
This might be Visa. Wissa.
No, I'm
Fucking
so
hell.
sorry. It's not. It's not. But again, I can see why you would say that.
What, is he? Did he not finish with 10 more?
He must
10
have. I
people?
think he maybe just missed this list.
Wow.
Because when you see these guys, you'll understand. Just how low the floor can be.
How? Yeah, I mean, I'd like to go back and compare that. He has to be like very, very close.
Oh yeah, Luis. I'm sorry, man. I should have mentioned that. Points per start. So it's a much better metric than points per game because it's only in games where they started versus when they came in as for sub appearances. Yeah. Yep. Thanks for handling that for me in chat, Tom. All right, Toddy.
I'll go Raul Jimenez.
Another great guess, but it's not on the list.
That was mine.
Out.
So I'm glad you took it.
You're out for this question. Dutch.
Jeez. 10 points per start. I don't know.
This is tough.
I'm trying to think of these guys that are surprisingly good.
I mean, just toss out a forward.
I'm going with. Okay. We said everybody else on already, right?
We did.
All right, sure. Kai Havertz.
Oh, nope. Unfortunately, he's not. You are out for this question. Back to you, Tom.
Brilliant.
You can't say Chris Wood.
I can't say Chris Wood. That is a shame.
And this, unfortunately, this is the last one you'll be able to say that for because they're going to come to midfielders.
Well, that depends on whether I can remember the names of any midfielders, to be honest. So there's a couple of people I'm thinking of, and it's more the case of do I think they got to 10 points per start than them being crap. It's Gackers.
Unfortunately, no. Back to you, Ryan.
Ooh. I'm gonna throw this out there. Beto.
I love that shout. No, he's not on the list, but that's another. I mean, you're right. You're right there. You're right there.
Yeah.
Back to you, Tom, for one more try.
All right. Is it time to show my working or not yet? It's
Does that mean
there's a couple guys I'm looking at, mostly Elanga.
Omar has said that in chat? So if you want to trust him,
Ask the audience.
Well,
right.
Other than Genie last year, so probably not actually.
At this point, 100% of the audience is saying Elanga because he's the only one who's commented. So
I'll go with.
Says don't.
I'll go with Elanga.
He said don't.
He said don't. He tried to warn you. He said don't. Yeah. No, that is unfortunately not correct. Okay.
One of them's Son. Oh, sorry, is Ryan still in?
No, right now.
I think I'm out.
Everyone's done. All right. So number one, and I wasn't going to count this, but if anybody got this, I was going to be really impressed. Number one was Jesus.
Oh, fuck off!
Come on, are you serious?
He had six starts, and his floor is 0.7.
Jesus Christ!
I love him so much.
After that was none other than Joao Pedro.
Oh, fuck.
2.1, floor of 2.1. Watkins floor of
sense.
2.3. This one is interesting considering he's a first round pick and everybody seems to love him. I'm always a little bit worried for this exact reason, and that's Isak. 2.3.
Yeah, dude, his ghosts aren't that.
2.3. He does not ghost.
Yeah.
And for listeners, of course, those are points that are derived from anything that's not goals, assists, and clean sheets. So all the other things that you get points for on the pitch.
That's how I felt about Haaland. I was so sure on that one.
Then it was
He has
Wood.
a lot of shots on target.
Wood 2.3. And finally, because we weren't really counting Jesus, finally it was Marmouche once again, 2.3. Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Omar's throwing out ideas and then says don't, and then you should have taken his second piece of advice, unfortunately. All right, well, that's okay. We got Tom with 4, Ryan with 2, and Toddy and Dutch still waiting for that moment. I'm waiting for that moment. Okay, we're moving to midfielders, boys. So we are going to stop being so pessimistic, at least for one question. We're going to talk about ghost points. In other words, low GACS percentage. If you go onto our website, you will see GACS percentage, which means the percentage of a player's points that they get from goals, assists, clean sheets. We want players that have low GACS, meaning that they get more points from other things on the pitch because goals are kind of hard to come by. So if we're drafting solely on low GACS, aka high ghost points, which 10 midfielders with at least 10 points per start would be atop our ranks based on 24-25?
Who's up?
Sorry, Toddy starts this one. Which 10 midfielders?
At least 10 points per start, right?
10 points per start, yep. And we're looking for the lowest, basically lowest goal dependency, assist dependency.
How many starts?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter because I went based upon our useful draft metrics, and right now on the site it's calibrated for 1.
Okay.
But I can tell you that
I'll go Mikkel Damsgaard.
Damsgaard is number 3. Nice job. Number 3. Beautiful. All right, Dutch. I can tell you that all these
Palmer's
guys
here, right? Palmer's
all
here?
these guys started games.
Palmer's here for sure.
Palmer's not, unfortunately. Nope. So sorry about that.
I had Damsgaard. I was going to say that.
Back to you, Tom.
I'll take. I have to guess my boy of McNeil.
McNeil is not on there, unfortunately. So sorry about that. Ryan.
Bruno.
Which one?
Bruno Fernandes.
Bruno Fernandes is number 9. Very nice. Very nice. Toddy, back to you.
Did you think I was Bruno Guimaraes?
You never know.
Yes, you do. You actually do.
I'll go Jeremy Doku.
Jeremy Doku is number 4. Very nice. Toddy
Nice
staging
work.
a comeback. Dutch.
Well, the way you answered for Bruno makes me think something. But I know it's not that. Is Kluivert here?
Kluivert is not, unfortunately. You are out for this question, so sorry, my friend.
He's got to be one of the top GACS.
Yeah, he's high. He's high for sure.
Oh,
Because, I mean, most of his season depended on that
yeah, for sure.
monster game that he had. And then anybody, again, rostered him second half of the season was pretty disappointed. Back to you, Tom. Tom, you're on one strike.
Who's been said? Has Vifer gone?
Viper is number 2. That is impressive,
Wow.
my friend. Nice job.
I just remembered, those last 5 games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carried me to promotion in the Genie League.
Number 2. He is only 24% dependent on goals, assists, and clean sheets. It's pretty impressive. I should have said Damsgaard's 25, Doku 27, and Bruno 31. Ryan, back to you.
Ahmad has to be here.
Unfortunately, no, he's not.
Really? A cheeky fucker.
Toddy?
I'll go Yuri Tillemans.
Tilleman's number 1.
Wow.
Very nice job. Number 1, only 21% dependent. Pretty impressive. Tom, you have 1 strike left, right?
Yeah. I really should have paid more attention to who's been said. Is Rich out?
Who?
Cowboy.
Oh,
Rich.
Dutch is out. Yes, Dutch is out. Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah. I thought you were saying a player. Sorry. I mean, of course, he's great in his Sunday league, but he's not in.
Chris Wood?
Chris would not be on this list.
Yeah, I'll take the most injured man since Wilshire of Tav.
Nice. Number 7.
Very nice.
Tavernier. Toddy, your boy. All right, Ryan, you have 1 strike left, yeah?
God, yeah, that was my fucking guess too.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
Just like draft season.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
seriously. Ooh.
How many do we still have to guess?
We have 1,
There's
2,
quite a
3,
bit, I
4
think,
left.
right?
We have 4 left.
4 left. I have 1 guess. I have no idea about the rest.
The only help you're getting from chat is Jono Dominguez thinks that it might be Gordon.
No, it's absolutely not.
And actually, Dutch is taking a lot of shit in the chat today. I think some of his buddies might be in here, which I love.
I'm
Keep it up,
so
guys.
glad
Yeah.
I'm on my phone. I can't see YouTube comments.
Yeah,
And I
keep it
just
up, guys.
recognize.
This is great. He can watch the YouTube video later and see everything that you've said. So it's awesome.
I'm between 2.
This is supposed to be my safe space away from my group chat. And it followed me in here.
Yeah.
I'll go Enzo.
Fuck.
Wow.
Enzo's
Oh my
number
God.
6.
Woo.
Very nice. Very
That was
nice.
my guy.
Insane
All right, Toddy.
ghoster.
Okay. I was gonna guess Enzo. I'll go for a stab in the dark. Guy I had for the shit spell at the end of the season, but I think he was good enough for the 10 PPS for the whole season. Kulusevski?
Kulishevsky is number 8.
Very nice.
Wow, good for you, dude.
Solid.
I traded him in, and he turned into a 2 PPS. So.
Still got your touch.
Hell yeah.
Will he be there to start the season? How long is his injury? Is like his knee thing?
I think
Yeah.
he will be.
Okay. It seemed really ugly when it first came up, and I haven't
Right.
heard anything out of it. But anyways,
I think he'll be okay.
yeah. Okay.
And it's an interesting discussion that we'll have, I'm sure, plenty of times before the season starts between him and Madison for that Damsgaard role.
Or Kudus, if you pay
Well,
attention to Twitter.
There's that too.
I think
maybe
Kudus
Eze.
is taking Son's spot, isn't he?
It's an interesting one. Noted.
All right, Tom, are you still in it?
I am still in.
That's right. Okay, you have 1. Tom, Ryan, and Toddy, you both still have one strike
So
left.
it's the 10 PPS is. I'm certain that this guy was lights out when he started. It's just that Ruud van Nistelrooy is a wanker. And I'm
Ruud
going to
van
go
Nistelrooy
with
is not correct.
Buonanotte.
Oh, Buonanotte, no, unfortunately. Yeah. But I like the guess. Ryan. Sebastian G in chat trying to give you some help. Caicedo, he's saying.
God, no.
Jeez, he's here. He's here too, dude. Like, what are they all here? Fuck me.
No wonder you won this league, bro.
Oh, Sebastian, I'm
Ryan's
so
got my
sorry.
back. Let's go.
You did not come here for that. I apologize.
How many do we have left?
2.
Oh God. I'll go out with my boy Iwobi.
Iwobi is number 10.
Woo.
Very nice.
Hey, very nice. You're just one off of Tom now. Toddy.
Oof.
I'll go Odegaard. Did he
Odegaard.
get to 10 PPS?
Oh, watch
Oh.
your mouth.
Shots
Watch your
fired.
fucking
Shots
mouth.
fired. No, he's not in the list. I don't know.
But he did make it to 10 PPS. Thank you.
Well, all right. Ryan,
really?
last guess.
Oh man. I think Saka had too many goal assists to be in here, although he goes well.
That's your guess.
No.
Mm.
I'm just talking it through. Just
Okay.
chill.
All right. Okay.
Shit.
What is the number left? There's
Just
left.
one.
Just the one. We're looking for one player.
But which spot?
Yeah, which spot is it?
Midfield.
No,
in the top 10.
Oh, sorry.
Which position are we talking about for midfield maestros?
Sorry, it's 5. It's number 5.
Got it. Okay.
Number 5. And it's got to be one of those guys that barely started, like the Vfer. Oh man, I should be getting these.
This guy played quite a bit.
Really? Okay.
Yep. He started 21 games. He played 32.
Damn.
Okay,
Saka. What the hell? Yeah, I know it's not.
It is not Saka, unfortunately. Dango Ouattara.
Dango Unchained. Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Dango Ouattara.
But he had that hat trick game that I thought would have boosted him. But wow. I
mean, that just says probably more about what he does in the other games, I guess.
Yeah, fair play.
That's one player I'm having trouble ranking a little bit. Have you guys?
Me too. He seems overdrafted, but when you look at who's left,
yeah,
I'm struggling with him too.
The fact that he immediately lost his spot, regardless of his amazing form, does not bode well for his future starts.
Yeah,
but he's so versatile that I agree. But he's going to at least get a decent amount of starts. He just might not be initially. So he's one of those guys that you might draft in the 8th or 9th round, and then you just drop after game week 4 when he doesn't start. But then you'll pick him back up once there's a few injuries. So yeah, he's tricky.
He is, and I don't know that I want to spend a 3rd round pick on him.
Oh God, no
no way.
Where did he go in our mock? Let me check.
That's a good question. I'm
guessing around 6 or 7.
Hold on, I have
early
the league
early 7.
7-3.
That's still too high for me, I think.
Me too, I think.
Actually, we talked about this on the other pod. So, okay, in the 7th round, this is really interesting. So it goes Iliman Jai, Dango Ouattara, Noni Madueke, Ismail Assar, Bruno Guimaraes, Harry Wilson, Tijani Reinders. Who do you like? If you had the pick of that litter, who do you like from that?
And Jai, by far.
Yeah.
I mean, he was the first taken.
He was 7-1. I mean, he could be a 6th round.
7-2.
Really good. Yeah, I believe in that guy. He was really good for me.
Fucking Dango, I guess.
You like Dango the best of those?
Interesting. Yes, I just think that round is bad.
I think I go Jai and then probably Sar and then probably Dango. I mean that's a tough.
I don't trust Sar at all.
But that's an interesting look into the midfield landscape, because if all of those guys are still available in round 7,
yeah, it's pretty nuts.
I think they're going to jump up a little bit, but still.
I think some of them, Rangers might bump up depending on preseason too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, those besides Njai and Sar, there is a very real chance that none of the other ones start in the first 4 games.
Yeah.
So
with the exception of Bruno G, but he's obviously got a lower floor.
Yeah.
Surprised Njai's going that far. He was taking pens at the end, wasn't he? Didn't he take the last 2-3 pens?
Didn't he miss one though?
You might be right. Yeah, I think he made on their last game at he had 2 goals at Goodison in the last game.
Yeah, he ended the season on fire for sure.
That's all I remember, honestly, from him. I have a recency bias.
All right, we have Tom with 6 points. We have Ryan with 5, Toddy with 4, and Dutch still yet to make his mark.
Christ.
And unfortunately, I can't believe his friends are here to see this. That's crazy.
Real sad. Such a sadness.
All right, well, Dutch, you get to kick us off this time, which is awesome. So here we go. And this one, you guys are going to have some fun with this. When combining the points lost from all of the negative stats, can you name the top 10 most mistake-prone mids by total points lost?
Ugh.
Oh, my God.
Okay, so you're looking... Okay.
So we're adding up the total points. So,
dispossessed. You know who got this? Kudus got dispossessed a lot.
Kudus is number 1.
Yeah, dude.
Nice.
So
there we go. Fuck yeah.
So think about the season Kudus had, and then think about the fact that he missed out on 57.5 points. 57.
Yeah, his dispossessions were like nuts. That's all I kept seeing when I looked him up.
He also got a red card, right, in the middle of the season?
Yeah.
So that helps.
Okay, Tom.
Yeah.
We're still on midfielders, by the way. That's a note for myself. So total points lost, total points to mental or physical errors.
Deku?
Who?
Dejan Kulusevski.
Oh, no. Sorry. Wait, take it back. Number 9. My bad.
Oof, bingo.
My bad.
You're really playing on my heartstrings here, Joe.
Very. So sorry. I'm having trouble reading my own handwriting. It happens over the summer. All right. Nice. So we have Kudus gone, Kulusevski gone. Kulusevski 43 points lost.
Jeez.
Yep. Ryan.
I'm gonna lean on probably yellow cards here. Go Bruno G.
Number 3.
Exactly
Number
what I
3. Nice job. All right, Toddy.
I'll go with the Dribbly boys, Jeremy Doku.
No, unfortunately, Doku.
Oh, he's got to be close.
Doku was crazy though. He had like 107 dribbles or something, and his actual percentage is staggering. Like where most guys it's like 50-50. I mean, his is like it's like 100 and then like half of that for his. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Anyway, no, he is not on this list. So sorry. Dutch.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of. I was going on yellows. I have Bruno G on the ready to go. Who else got a bunch of yellows? Joe Linton gets a ton of yellows. Did he get enough to be in
Joe
here?
Linton, number 6.
Yeah, that's
nice job, Ryan. I guess we're proving the point that they don't always get away with it.
No, but it should be triple.
It should be. All right, Tom.
So this is quite a difficult one, really. Question. I'm in one of my leagues last year. I had Morgan Rogers, and he really pissed me off. His 0.5 point starts, and I can only assume that's because he kept getting booked. So I'm going to go with him.
Morgan Rogers, number 2.
Every fucking time.
He lost 57 points, and that would explain a lot, Ryan.
Was it this position?
Yeah, that was my pick. He gets yellows too. He's a double threat guy.
Double threat. All right, well, you're going to need a new one here for us, Ryan.
Christ. Oh,
this is where they get really hard.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if you got none of the rest of these.
You know who's a weird shout that I remember just having a lot of disciplinary issues?
Kind of a naughty boy?
Yeah. Elliot Anderson.
Oh, wow. Elliot Anderson's number 7. Nice job. Unbelievable.
Nice.
All right. Toddy.
I'll go with the man who profited most from that yellow cards, Lucas Paqueta.
Nice. Absolutely. Paqueta's number 6.
Nice one.
Yep. That's a really good one. Love that. All
Jeez,
right.
How many do we have left?
You have 1, 2, 3. I'm actually really impressed. This is incredible.
All right. Oh,
you're getting some help from chat. Let's see.
I can't look at. I can't even look. I don't even want to see.
Omar thinks Partey potentially. Thomas Partey. Omar's
Omar.
also shouting out Alvarez.
Who?
Yeah, who's Alvarez?
It's
West Ham.
Yeah, could be.
I know it's. I can't take with some of them, but I felt there was a lot of times where I was watching Ahmad. I don't think he played enough games for this, but Diallo got a surprising amount of he was getting yellows. Negative point. I'm gonna go Ahmad. Not 100% fair, but
Ahmad is not one, unfortunately. But I know where you're coming from on that one. Tom. Yeah, Sebastian Jolent has already been said.
and I guess it's the more. I vaguely remember Gibbs White went through a stint of.
Tom has to be looking this shit up. There's
No,
no way.
Is he on it?
dude?
Yeah,
He's killing
yes
it.
he is. Yes he is. He's number 5, Tom.
Good shot, dude.
Nice job.
But I swear it was like there was like a.
No, he got a lot of yellows. He got a lot of
yellows.
yellows.
Yeah.
Yellows or something stupid.
You know, you're right. I owned him, and he had a lot of yellows, and
Yeah.
there was a lot of frustrating, like 7-8 point games that he would end up with because of the
Yep.
yellows.
Yep. Ryan.
Man, this is tough.
Yeah, now this is crazy. Ooh.
2 left.
2 left. You're getting some more help from chat. Tyler Adams, Gianna Dominguez says.
That guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
He also said thought he had a safe space. LMAO.
Christ. McAllister?
No, unfortunately, not McAllister. All right, back to you, Tom. Nope,
Am I
sorry.
out?
I just made that up, Toddy.
It's all you're out.
I'll go with, if I remember correctly, but I'm not sure. Did Luis Scully get 2 reds this season?
He did, didn't he? Was it 2?
I think he did.
Either way,
But-
he's not on the list.
He's not.
So sorry.
I
Dutch.
thought he was just asking. That wasn't his answer.
Oh yeah.
Just
Wait,
just
did
having
he
to be
get 2
curious.
red? Yeah, I don't know.
Is it my
Last
turn?
chance saloon here, Dutch.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm trying to think of shitty players right now that I don't got another good guess, but Andres Pereira.
Ooh, that's a good guess, but no. Sorry.
Okay.
Tom.
Odegaard?
Odegaard is not correct.
Dare you?
Poor
Ryan?
Ugarte?
Ugarte is not correct. I like the guess though. Like I said, these are a little bit not quite ones you would expect.
Yeah.
Tom, last guess. Suchek is not correct. I like that though. The final ones, you guys missed number 4 overall, which is interesting, but it's not actually that surprising because it's Joao Gomez. 15.5.
We missed him because no one ever rostered him.
Right. But number 10 is Bruno Fernandes.
Really?
Yeah. 43 points. So think about his point total and the fantasy asset that he is, and then add 43 points to that. That's pretty incredible.
Dispossessions, yellows. What's
I think it's both. I think it's both of those. It's
see.
mainly both of those.
Damn.
Did he get 2 reds?
You got at least one.
He only got one.
Sebastian G said 2 reds. Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Didn't one get overturned?
Maybe it stayed in the system.
Oh yeah, it did get overturned. I wonder if it's still in the system or not. Anyway, yeah. So there you go. All right. I still have 2 defender questions. We don't have to do them if we're going long. But what do you guys tell me your temperature?
1 life each.
1 life.
One life.
Okay.
Yeah, one life.
All right.
each.
I like it. All right. Draftable defenders. Based on only the last 5 game weeks of 24-25, how many of the top 10 defenders can you name? We are starting
Only the last 5 game weeks.
based on just the last 5 game weeks. We're starting with Tom.
Collins.
Collins is not on the list. Sorry. Tom's out. Ryan,
Ooh.
this is your chance to catch up. Rest of the field.
Yeah, I get it. No pressure. Gosh.
Gianna Dominguez trying to help. Saying Munoz. Interesting.
Shit. Last 5 games. Coyote?
Coyote is correct.
Oh.
That is number 6. Nice job. Toddy.
Big Dan Burn.
Big Dan Burn is number 1. Very nice
Damn.
job.
Wow.
Dutch.
Wan-Bissaka.
Wan-Bissaka is number 2.
Yeah, love
Very
him.
nice. Ryan.
It's Tom's on it?
Tom. No, we're doing one strike.
Oh,
Tom
shit.
missed the
Okay.
first one.
All right. Fair enough. Let me think. What about? I'm thinking like Everton. Mikolenko.
Mikolenko, nice. Yeah, Mikolenko's number 5. Andre's being cheeky and recommending Trent in the chat. So you're aware. Toddy? Ryan, you are tied with Tom, by the way.
I'll go Harry Maguire.
Maguire, unfortunately, is not correct.
Did Tom say Collins? Was that his guess?
Tom said Collins, yes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking right now. Okay. Last 5 game weeks. Only one life.
Only one life.
YOLO.
Literally.
Housen?
Housen is not correct,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
It's all good.
All right,
It's good.
Ryan.
Now we will go Munoz.
Munoz is correct, number 3. All right. Takes the lead with 10 points. Are you the only one left? Toddy, do you have?
No, I've gone.
Show some
You're
respect.
out. All right, Ryan, you can clean up if you want to.
This is more just hoping because I love him. Jacob Greaves.
No, unfortunately not.
Well, it should be.
All right. So, bonus point. One member of this top, or one, there should be a member of this top 10 who this year would be a member of this top 10, but is not last year. First person to say it gets the point.
Is it Sassignon?
What is that?
Yeah, what are you
There's
asking?
one person who should be in this top 10. This year they would be, but last year they were not.
Was Sessignon the good pick?
No.
Oh.
Because he was a mid.
Who the fuck?
You mean that he wasn't last year? I'm
Skelly?
just trying to figure out.
No, Skelly's a good guess. No, it's not Skelly.
Coyote? What?
Nope. Coyote is still a defender.
Isn't it someone who's moved from mid to defender?
That would be what I'm implying.
Oh, okay. Jesus. We should have said that.
I really got to spell it out for you guys, huh?
Yes, you do.
Clearly.
It's not Sassignon, really?
Well, Sessignon's not a defender this year.
No, yeah, mid to defender.
Yeah.
What?
Oh,
Man, if Draft Lad and Robbie listen to this, they are going to be pulling their hair out.
Well, I didn't pay attention to the position changes.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Mateus Nunes.
Oh,
He had like a goal and 2 assists or something crazy in the last 5 weeks. He had an insane. So speaking of City, Ryan at Nori.
Ooh, is Connor Bradley there?
No, but
He
you know who
goes-
else is Mark Cucurella, Levi Colwell, Fabian Schär, and Tyreek Mitchell.
Yeah, Cole had a goal.
I was going to go with the
Corella had a
Chelsea
goal.
boys.
Yep.
Yeah, I was trying to think if they had goals late, and they did.
Yeah,
All right, last question. Again, only one life because we are going long, but that's okay. This is fun. Let's do this. Tom, you need 1 point to catch up. Toddy, you're only 4 behind. Dutch, you played a good game.
Oh,
right.
you're booting me out. No.
No, you could. Hey, you could get. There are 13 potential options here. Okay.
I just won't be lost.
Normally, we try for defenders who don't need goals, assists, and clean sheets. but only 13 defenders scored at least 2 of each of those. How many of them can you name? So 2 goals, 2 assists, 2 clean sheets.
Oh, this is good.
How many can you name? And we start with Toddy this time, yeah? Or no, Ryan.
Munoz.
Munoz is, number 4. Toddy.
Cucurella?
Cucurella is number 1. Nice
Nice.
job. This is sorted by goals, by the way. That's so when I say number 1, it's that means they got the most goals, but obviously the other things follow. Dutch.
Hey, Nori.
All right, Nori, number 3. Nice job. Tom.
Talk.
No,
He only scored 1, didn't
unfortunately.
he? I think.
No, he is not on the list. Ryan.
Dino.
Dino is not on the list, believe it or
He
not.
didn't get
What?
assists, did he? I think he
Yes,
only
he
got
did.
1 assist.
Who are you saying by Dino? Who do you mean?
Howson.
Housen.
Oh, he's not. No, he definitely had 2 assists.
Look it up.
He had an assist like last week, actually.
I
For
will
Real
look it
Madrid.
up.
Yeah, pretty sure. Maybe not.
No,
All right.
he's got 3 goals, 2 assists.
Yeah, I thought he did.
How many clean sheets? Did I just miss him? I might have just
He
missed
has to have 2 clean
Yeah,
sheets.
yeah. He has to. He definitely does.
Shit. He's got 7.
Goes?
Okay. All right. We'll give it to you. Nice.
Well, you're not charity. That's a fact.
No, he has it. He definitely has it. I think.
All right. I'll write him in.
Who's
I'll
goal
write him.
is it?
Okay. Nice. Interesting. I don't know why he didn't show up. My bad.
Is it my
No
go?
worries.
It's your go.
Milos.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
2 goals. Did he score twice? Trent?
No, Trent is not 1.
Fuck me.
Wow.
But is he actually not 1, or have you just forgotten to write him down?
Yeah, I'm skeptical at this
Here
point.
we go.
I think it's the goals. I don't think he has the goals.
Yeah, I don't think so either. All right, Tom.
I'm out.
Oh, you're out. Sorry, Ryan.
This might be a homer pick, but I'm between 2 Americans.
Oh, I thought you meant a different kind of homer.
No. I want to say Chris Richards has the goals.
No, sorry.
I'm gonna have
I
to
don't
look
think he
him
has
up
the. I
now.
don't
Yeah,
think he
look
has
him up
the
just to make
assist.
sure.
I don't think
Fact
he has
check
the
me just to make
assist.
sure. Toddy.
Yeah, I was gonna say Jedi, but I don't think he has the goals.
Has Nathan Collins gone?
Collins is on there. Nice job. He has not gone. All right, keep going, Toddy.
Is it just me?
Yeah.
Pinnock died for Collins.
How many does he need
Um,
to catch up?
He needs. Let me see. He needs 4 to win.
4 more? Four
Yeah.
more?
Yeah.
How many are left? You
There's
need to go on a
still-
heater, son.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 still.
Oh, shit.
I'll go Milenkovic.
Milenkovic is number 2. Nice job.
Shit.
Just 3 left. Just 3 left. Can he do
Oh
it?
man, I don't think he's gonna crack.
Bastion saying we need an audit. We definitely do. We need a better quizmaster. You're right.
I'll go. I know Guardiola had goals, but I don't think he had an assist or at least 2 that he didn't have.
He might have only had 2 clean sheets, but he probably
That's true. I didn't
Yeah,
consider clean sheets either. I didn't consider clean sheets. Is Fabian Scher?
number
there?
4. No, sorry, number 5. Nice job. All right, 2 left.
Shit.
Mm,
Can I get a fact check on Trent? My boy just texted me.
Ooh.
Dude, you need 16 to win. I think you're good.
Yeah.
Trent's in it, by the way, though.
Is he?
My friend just texted me.
I was gonna say he has to be.
Anyways,
No.
How many do I need?
2.
Has Pedro Porro gone? Joint
No, Pedro Porro.
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
you could
One
take
more.
Trent technically. You could take Trent.
Nah.
One more. Oh, you want to know why? Because Trent's not in the system anymore. And when I was looking at this,
Yeah, makes sense.
he just didn't even show up. That's why. Same with Hausen. That's exactly why.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, that's exactly it.
Fair.
Madrid boys.
All right,
But
Toddy.
that would skew the 13.
It'd be 15, unless somebody else had left that I'm not aware of.
Okay, I'll go.
As Toddy's thinking, do you guys know that if you change this to 3, and 3, the list drops down to like 3 defenders, or maybe 4.
I'll go Matt Doherty.
Ooh, no, that is not one.
Yes.
Not one. So you guys have tied.
So what did we miss?
You guys have tied. Do we have any guesses to break the tie? I don't know what.
How many are left?
Goalkeepers. Let's go goalkeepers.
How many are left? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Is Van Bissaka gone?
Toddy wins it.
How? I didn't even get to go.
I say it was a
Can
tiebreaker.
I counter?
Sure, counter.
Nico Williams?
No.
Oh,
Ryan, when I asked you the Homer pick, the reason I
Gabi Magalhaes?
yes, isn't that crazy?
The assist, man.
I know. Yeah.
Wow.
So, Gabrielle, yeah, he made it. Mark Gahey, interestingly enough.
That's man. I knew it was
yeah.
a freaking Palace.
Levi Colwill.
Damn.
Is there a player who has got 2 goals, 2 assists, but doesn't have the 2 clean sheets?
That's a great question. I don't think so, but that would be hilarious.
I would put the clean sheets.
Somebody from Fulham.
Wan Bissaka doesn't have that many clean sheets. He's got to be close.
The last player that I wouldn't expect any of you to have gotten was Tariq Lamptey.
What?
Right?
He definitely doesn't have the clean sheets, man. Come on.
Yeah.
He had 2 clean. That's crazy.
Yeah. 2
That
goals,
guy every year,
2 assists.
He buzzes around every year.
I know. It's crazy.
And he,
I think
he
I've started him every year too. I think I have so many seasons with him.
How many clean sheets does he have?
He has 2 goals, 2 assists, 2 clean sheets.
That's nuts.
Bare minimum.
It's
Congrats,
incredible.
Toddy. How'd it come back, man?
That's incredible. Yeah, that was great. That was fun. All right. Nice, boys. That was a blast.
Yeah, great questions.
I appreciate it. Thanks. Took a little while today, but
Yeah,
I'm on
those are
summer
good.
break, so that's all good. Yeah, it didn't skew hopefully the final answers, but that's interesting how those players just don't even appear anymore. They're just gone. Is what it is.
R.I.P.
All right, boys. Amazing time. Thanks for everyone for joining. We had a hell of a crew tonight. It was a blast. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, boys. Good times.
Yeah,
had a great time.
Listeners, y'all are fantastic. Remember, the draft kit is live on draftsociety.com. Check it out. We will be back at you all after the 4th of July break and probably do some more mock drafts. If anybody's interested in getting in on those, hit us up, let us know. And there'll be more of those floating around the community too. So join Discord and get into some of the chats to get into some mock drafts, because you're going to definitely need those coming up before the season. All right, everybody, have a good one. We'll talk to everyone soon. Happy holidays if you're American, and if not, enjoy your weekend. Cheers, everyone.